Hi, I would like to share with you a bit of scripture. It's Daniel chapter 6, um, starting with verse 1. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps, to be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 governors, of whom Daniel was one, that the satraps might give an account to them, so that the king would suffer no loss. Then this Daniel distinguished himself above the governors and satraps, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king gave thought to setting him over the whole realm. So the governors and satraps sought to find some charge against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find no charge at all, or fault, because he was faithful, nor was there any error or fault found in him. Then these men said, We shall not find any charge against this Daniel, unless we find it against him concerning the law of his God. So these governors and satraps thronged before the king, and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever! All the governors of the kingdom, the administrators and the satraps, the counselors and advisers, have consulted together to establish a royal statute, and to make a firm decree, that whoever petitions any god or man for 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree, and sign the writing, so it cannot be changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. Therefore King Darius signed the written decree. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day, and he prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God, and they went before the king and spoke concerning the king's decree. Have you not signed a decree that every man who petitions any god or man within 3 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, The thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which does not alter. So they answered and said before the king, That Daniel, who is one of the captives from Judah, does not show due regard for you, O king, or for the decree that you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day. And the king, when he heard these words, was greatly displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored until the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men approached the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, that it is the law of the Medes and Persians that no decree or statute which the king establishes may be changed. So the king gave the command, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. But the king spoke, saying to Daniel, Your God, whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. And then a stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the signets of his lords, that the purpose concerning Daniel might not be changed. Now the king went to his palace and spent the night fasting, and no musicians were brought before him. Also his sleep went from him. And then the king arose very early in the morning, and went in haste to the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried out with a lamenting voice to Daniel. The king spoke, saying to Daniel, Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom ye serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions? Then Daniel said unto the king, O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel, and shut the lions' mouths, so that they have not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him. And also, O king, I have done no wrong before you. Now the king was exceeding glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no injury whatever was found on him, because he believed in his God. And the king gave the command, and they brought those men who had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, their wives, and the lions overpowered them, and broke all their bones in pieces before they ever came to the bottom of the den. Then King Darius wrote to all peoples, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, Peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men must tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and steadfast forever. His kingdom is the one which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall endure to the end. He delivers and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth, who has delivered Daniel from the power of lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius, and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. that whole story right there is about basically Daniel, who was an advisor to kings of Babylon, who eventually became one of the three governors of Medo-Persian Empire. I mean, by the appointment of King Darius of Persia, and and there were people in power who were just like jealous of him, because they want to find out that there's something wrong with him, and that there was some error or fault. But Daniel was spoken of to have an excellent spirit in him, so it was basically faultless, and they couldn't find any error. So they decided to set a trap for him, and they made this made the king sign a decree that that any man who prays to any god or man for 30 days, except unto the king, shall be cast into the den of lions. And king signed the decree, knowing that anything that is signed by the king cannot be altered according to the laws of the Medes and Persians. So when Daniel heard that the king signed this decree, he went to his place, his personal residence, and with windows open out toward Jerusalem, he prayed and thanked God 3 times a day as usual. And then these lords found him praying to his God, and they brought him to the king, and the king realized that Daniel had disobeyed the command, or at least he was accused of doing so, and he thought to deliver Daniel up, but the Lord insisted that he follow the law that he had signed into order, that Daniel be cast into the den of lions. And so Daniel was cast into the den of lions, and king had a very unrestful night of sleep, and he's so worried about Daniel that very early in the morning he got up and went to the den of lions, and he called out to Daniel, and he asked if he is all right, and Daniel said, "Oh, King, live forever. The Lord my God has delivered me from the lions, because he shut the lion's mouth because there's no error or fault within me." And so the king was pleased, and so he delivered Daniel out of the den of lions, and he delivered his accusers into the den of lions, and they got killed before they even got to the bottom of the den. Them, their families, and their wives. and then the king made a decree throughout all the kingdom for all the people to fear and tremble for the God of Daniel. Because King Darius acknowledged that God of Daniel was able to deliver Daniel from the lions, and it's an interesting story. And probably one that Christians should take at heart when it comes to being accused of error for their peers who want to accuse them of anything that they're guilty of. Anyway, that's all I really have to share with you in this video. So have a good day, and God bless you.